Hey everyone, Madwitch here. I decided to do one of those PlayBuzz quizzes, so I'm doing it off my phone, obviously. I'll be reading out the questions and everything, but the one I chose, then I think I'll be doing this because I think it's kind of funny. This this really gets to let you know what kind of person you really are based on the answers that you choose. Now I know this is all for fun and games, but sometimes you kind of gotta like think about the answers, and it's like it's real interesting. So the one I'm doing today is what kind of witch are you? It's got this little flavored text underneath. It's like it says Gardnerian, British traditional witchcraft, Dianic, kitchen witch. So eclectic, you need a map to find your athame. Take this simple quiz to see which tradition you really belong to. Let's play. Oh, the Holy Bible is. The answers are The Truth and the Light, a collection of myths and stories, nothing more. Misogynistic politics and dogma designed to keep free thinking people oppressed, a collection of timeless fables and parables, rewritten to fit one cultural storyline. I'm going to go with the most honest answer. Misogynistic politics and dogma designed to keep free thinking people oppressed. Now, mind you, if you're a Christian, you're watching this. This is only what I interpreted from, or actually, I'm not even going to say interpreted. This is what I see in the Bible, not the religion itself, just the Bible. So that's my answer. Do you give your pet's name like Pyewacket, Isis, or Merlin? Well, I gave my cat's name is Spirit. Um, so it says, of course, names have power, and my pets or familiars are empowered. I never really thought about it. If the name fits, I'll go with it. Magical names, sure, but I don't name my pets after gods. Who wants a ferret named Loki? Fucking A right. I'm getting a ferret now, and I'm naming it Loki. I'm gonna get it one of the little hats. Yeah. I never do that because my pets don't need that kind of baggage. Um, I want to go with the magical names because I guess Spirit could be a magical name, I suppose. So I guess I'll go with that. I mean, I never really gave it thought. I never really thought about it. If the name fits, I'll go with it. Well, my cat's a black and white tuxedo cat, so um, I don't know. I think I'll go with that. If the name fits, I'll go with it. I'll go with that one. In politics, you tend to vote conservative. I I don't vote conservative. I'm a liberal, so disagree. And harm ye none, do what thou wilt. No magic should be used to cause harm. The answers are absolutely free will is our right, which is true. In the magical spectrum, no harm must be dealt. The goddess has decreed it so. Well, not intentionally anyway. You can't see the bug before it splatters your windshield. Sometimes you gotta break a few eggs to make a good omelet. Believe me, he had it coming. um, I believe that you should not directly harm somebody with magic. It might happen. Like, you don't intentionally do it. So I'm going to say, well, not intentionally anyway. So, I mean, it does happen. You know, you perform a spell to, you know, get some money in your hands, and then all of a sudden your aunt dies or something, and she left a will to you or whatever. You know, that's bad. But the spell played out, even though it hurt somebody. It happens. It's unfortunate, but all right. So this one says, this is question number 5. Give me a paper cup, a plastic knife, a packet of salt, and I can work magic anywhere. It says first the answers are: I disagree. Your magic regalia has to be consecrated items crafted and attuned to you alone. In a pinch, I guess you could, but I wouldn't be comfortable with it. Sure, why not? The magic is in the witch, not in the material objects. This is, I don't use items except maybe water and salt. A bowl of water and some salt. That's all I use, really. You don't really need much else. Sometimes I might use incense depending on what I'm doing, but and then the last one, it says, heck, I don't even need those. But you know, yeah, I don't need them. But to be completely and totally honest, witchcraft isn't all about the tools. If you're going to be using tools and all you can afford is a paper cup and some plastic utensils, do it. I mean, it's the tool. The tools aren't what makes the magic. It is your intent. It is your will. That is what magic is. So you don't need fancy athames and wands and staves. You don't need none of that. Most of your spells can just be used with your finger. And if you really want to get fancy, use your hand and maybe some incense or something. So I want to say the truth. Heck, I don't even need those. Ooh, that's a pretty book. What kitty kitty? Well, come on. I'm just doing a test for YouTube. Are you just going to sit down there and meow all the time, or are you going to come up here? Well, come on. There you go. Are you okay, baby? Hey, you know the rules. You're up here. You got to lay down. Look, everybody, it's my kitty. It's my kitty. He'll be in the video too now. All right, question number 6. Your book of shadows is right here. This is my book of shadows. Handmade. Bound in ritual, cleansed, goat hide, penned by hand, in consecrated handmade inks on organic vellum pages. Organic vellum is like sheepskin or goat skin or whatever you want to say. A journal I made myself, like a scrapbook. I need to tidy it up. Several 3-ring binders of printed notes and pages I've been collecting for years. Isn't there an app for that? No, I'm pretty sure there is an app for this. For your book of shadows. I am pretty damn sure. That would be easier to use on my tablet. Uh, Mine's a journal I made myself. I just showed it to you, and yeah, it does need some tidying up. And people have been known to use several 3-ring binders, anywhere between the 1-inch and the 3-inch binders. But there's a lot of information to be had. So this, in and of itself, is completely and totally logical. Especially, you know, me personally, I believe that you should write it down yourself, so that way you have your own personal copy. But like, let's say you're working in a coven or something, then yeah, print it out, put it in a 3-ring binder, and then have your coven members um, copy out of it or something, whatever they so need. A good thing to do is like have one particular one or two whatever, depending on how big it is, dedicated just towards the gods and goddesses. Maybe like one towards the gods and one towards the goddesses, and you don't want to like separate, make individual binders to each direct path or whatever, unless you're going to be doing, chapters and chapters on just, a god themselves. So Mine's a journal I made myself. Well, fine. Fuck you too, cat. Hey, I love you. You're weird. Ooh, this one's ritual participants should be in alternating gender sequence, male, female, to create a magical battery. Oh, I never really gave thought to that one, so let's see what the answers are. Yes, absolutely, the polarizing forces empower the magical working. I heard that people used to do that, but I don't think it is a big that I don't think it's all that big a deal. Magic is a powerful spirit, not body. The physical gender of the participant is or should be irrelevant. No good ritual was ever performed that had males involved. I think that's like a feminist way of looking at it. Um, well, this actually reading through the answers, um, I'm going to go with magic is a power of spirit, not body. The physical gender of the participant is or should be irrelevant. The reason why I say this is because um, people who identify with an opposite gender, for instance, a male identifies as female and a female identifies as male. So I want to say that, because there are actually covens out there that are strictly homosexual, whether it's male, strictly female, or uh, co-ed. So, but it is actually it actually does happen that way. I actually was participating in a coven before, and there were several gay members who identified as the opposite gender, and calling down the god or goddess, they would call down whatever they identified as their gender. For instance, a male identified as female will call down the goddess. So this in and of itself is not entirely, unheard of. And I actually do have to say, guys, if you're solitary, call down the goddess every now and again, especially on full moons. It helps a lot. Even if you're a male that identifies as male, still call down the goddess. It's you know it helps. All right, your athame should never be used for mundane tasks. Well, obviously, and your athame should always be dulled and never used to uh, prick your finger for blood magic or used for any like major cut or cutting at all. Do not use your athame for cutting. There's a bowling for that. That should be what it's for. If you are using tools, your athame is strictly for magic. Plain and simple. It is a male representation and it should be used as such. So, absolutely right, it is a consecrated tool and should be treated with respect. The blade of my athame is pure crystal and must never touch a physical surface. The vibrations could pollute it. Depends on the task. If it's magical related, like cutting herbs, I'm okay with it. Again, there's the thing called a bowling, which is actually a sharp knife or a black handled knife. It's a tool, right? I need to open the mail. Hand me that knife. Wow. Okay, if you're going to be using tools, I mean, I don't use tools, but if you're going to be using tools, treat your consecrated items with respect. Don't use your athame or your bowling for, your just basic necessities. Your bowling should be used uh, to cut your herbs. The bowlings are some bowlings are actually special round curves where the inside curve is sharp. An athame should be dulled. You can use an athame to inscribe like runes into candles or something if you're going to be using candle magic. But I want to say absolutely right as a consecrated tool and should be treated with respect. That's just my opinion. If a person says I am a witch, then then she's a witch. Nobody else has to justify her personal journey. The answers are I disagree. A witch should be recognized by his or her coven. Otherwise, you'll get all kinds of riffraff in the craft. They can say it and they might believe it, but ultimately a witch is judged by his or her peers. Some people are born witches and you can just feel it. You don't even need to say anything. Yes, that's right. A witch makes the declaration before the goddess, and that's her personal affirmation. Alright. In witchcraft, you don't need to prove yourself to be a witch. However, don't be like one of the, if you're just starting out, I'm telling you right now, magic isn't like you see on TV and in movies. This isn't Harry Potter or, the Craft. This isn't supernatural or charmed. This is the real world. Magic has has a specific property, and what you see on TV is Hollywood magic. It's stage magic. It's not magic. So, but I want to go with that last one. Yes, that's right. A witch makes a declaration before the goddess, and that's her personal affirmation. There are a lot of solitary witches, so being in the coven, if you like practicing alone, is redundant. Let's see. Why so serious? Let's unplug my phone so you can see it. It says, why so serious? Laughing during rituals should not be allowed. That is actually completely and totally false. I mean, if you can't. Okay, I've been in a lot of group rituals, and there's been slip ups and mess ups and things you just can't help laugh at. But you know what? Laughing is a positive energy. So laugh all you want in a ritual. I mean, don't just like be boisterous about it. If it's like, laugh all you want. Yes, it is a serious matter, rituals, but it shouldn't be so serious to where you're going to get scolded for laughing. If I ran a coven and I tripped on my robes or something and someone let out a little giggle, I'd be giggling too because you know what? I tripped on my robes. Little stuff like that, it doesn't matter, but here are the answers to that question. There's a time and place for everything, but a magical working is not the time for disruptive behavior. Again, as long as you keep it under control. I mean, laughing, it's whatever. As long as everyone is respectful, that's okay. But if someone won't shut up telling jokes with their neighbor, they should be excused from the circle. That's true. If you're participating in a class or any type of circle, whether it's a ritual or a learning circle, be respectful. Uh, you know, it's okay to like tell lean over, tell a joke, but keep it to a minimum. Um, it's you gotta be polite and respectful to whomever is running the ritual or the circle. The next answer is mirth. Mirth is itself a form of reverence, and freedom of expression is why we're all here in the first place. Sing, dance, make merry, rejoice. I actually like that last answer. I mean, what's the point of a ritual if you can't sing and dance? I mean, what's the point? Um, is this the last question? I don't know. All right, question number 10. A witch should always observe all the Sabbats and Esbats. The answers are I agree the Sabbats and Esbats are sacred to the goddess. This in and of itself is true, but there are certain paths that don't follow all the Sabbats. My coven always holds Sabbat rituals, and we do Esbats if there's a need for it. That's, but a, a majority of paths that I've come across. I'm not so into observance based on the Lord and Lady respective cycle, but we keep the dates really for the sake of tradition. I only make time for uh, Beltane, Samhain, Yule, and Litho. Really, who needs Maven? So those are the four I just read off. Beltane, Samhain. Sorry. It's Samhain. I'm tired. I'm sorry. It's 6 o'clock in the morning and I've been up all day. Yule and Litha. Those are the quarter. Yeah, the quarter festivals, which are the equinoxes and solstices. Sabbats. Who who was that last week? Oh, I'll light a candle or something. Goddess bless. What? Wow, really? Um. Uh, I want to go with the ants because I don't celebrate all the Sabbats myself, and I only really do aspects for magical purposes. I don't really see the need to celebrate all at once or all of them throughout the year, but it is good to acknowledge that it has come and gone. But I want to go with I'm not so into observances based on the Lord and Lady's respective cycle, but we keep the dates really for the sake of tradition. That's my answer. Holy crap! It keeps going. Buddhist philosophy has a lot of truths that we can learn from. The answers are I agree. Philosophies like karma, samsara, samsara, and the eightfold path are reflected in many pagan values. That's kind of true. Does it? I never really gave it much thought. Be happy, be kind. That's all. All that, be sure. Buddhism is a different religion than witchcraft. They don't overlap. It is a different religion, but a lot of paths nowadays actually do cross over into to religions like Hinduism, Buddhism, and Taoism. So, given in the sense of karma, I mean, that's in the read, essentially, and eightfold paths, that's the wheel of the year is eight dates. So, I mean, why not? So, I want to say I agree. Oh, Ouija board. You should never reveal your magical name to the mundane world. Of course not. There is magic in the power of the name, and I only reveal my craft name to my coven and the gods. I use my I use my magical name as a focusing element when I'm meditating or working a spell, but really I don't care who knows it. I made my magical name up for a WoW character. It was so neat, I kept it. It's my online name too. Really? Really? Your World of Warcraft name? Okay, please, if anybody's done this, please comment below. I want to high five you personally, alright? I actually want to know how you guys came up with your magical names. So, either make a video response or comment below, please. Um, and if you don't feel comfortable revealing your magical name, you don't have to. Just tell me how you came about it. Uh, but as for names being power, yes, having the name of a person is actually extremely powerful. So I want to go with that. Okay, what's up with Harry Potter? Harry Potter is a fictional character, and anything from the book should be left there. Why don't we call non-witches muggles, and we don't say Expelliarmus? Mixing elements of fictional with our spiritual path will only weaken our connection with the magical, with magic and divinity. Some people are already looking for reasons to discredit and ridicule who we are and what we do. if they hear you talking about Hogwarts and house elves, and just makes us all look like fools. Sure, I know we can't wave a wand and throw somebody across the room, but the stories are fun. They are. What's the harm in borrowing a couple of words here and there? Don't use any words from there. There is magic in everything, even fiction. If I want to incorporate the Hogwarts mythology into my personal path, what's the harm? I know where it comes from. As long as you know where it comes from, but don't go around town waving a wand. I mean, wands are used in ritual for some people. Wands are preferred over Athena's. So if you're using a wand, if you speak a foreign language and you feel more comfortable or you feel more power coming from that foreign language, then yeah, go ahead. But I'm going to go with the first answer. Mixing elements of fiction with our spiritual path will only weaken our connection. Plus, it gives people the bad idea. However, I don't agree with that last house elves. I mean, if you're going like the Hogwarts version of a house elf, then yeah. But I do believe that there are spirits and uh, the wee folk or little folk or elves, fairies, whatever you want to call them, gnomes. I believe in them. And I always said, if something comes up missing, blame it on the gnomes. Like that one sock that always seems to be missing after you do your laundry. It's the sock gnomes. Remember that. So I want to go with that. I'm sorry this video is so long. There are so many questions on there. You shouldn't mix Pathians. If you're invoking Cernunnos, don't pair them with Isis. This, I don't believe is true at all. But I want to read the answers anyways, so so you can answer it yourselves. The different pantheons come from diversely different cultures. You can't just plug in deities from different cultures and expect them to dance for you. Show some respect. Cernunnos is a representative of the Green Man archetype, and Isis is the goddess with global scope and recognition. This is very true. I wouldn't mix deities of different spheres of influence, like Pele and Poseidon. No. But global deities, what's the harm? Um, if anybody knows what global deity is, please let me know. All gods are one God, right? They're all they are all aspects of the divine mysteries, regardless of nationality. And they know what we are trying to do and why we invoke them. So yes, we can. Of course we can. The gods are all just aspects of the collective subconscious anyways. You guys already know how I feel. I don't worship the gods, I follow the gods. So I want to go all gods are one God. I mean, you have, the divine, which is all gods and goddesses combined. This is how I believe, and this is how some other people believe. But in that aspect, it is separated into the masculine and the feminine, with all the masculine gods in the masculine area and all the feminine gods in another area. And then you got that other area where it's like they incorporate both, I guess you can say. And then obviously you have your different pantheons, and then you have your different gods and goddesses, and it just breaks down. So I'm gonna go with that. All gods are one God. Oh, it's still going. Magic and spells work because one, magic is a controllable force like energy, and our willpower is the motor. We make magic we make magic manifest by will and intent. The spell is the magic's programming. They work because as witches we have power bestowed upon us by the gods. There is no such thing as magic, it's all make believe. What some call magic is either material cause and effect or coincidence. I want to go with the first one. Magic is a controllable force, like energy, because that's what it is. You know, the gods don't bestow the power of magic upon us. Everyone, I don't care who you are, where you come from, everybody has magic. Simple words like hello, how are you is magic. So that's what I'm going with. Pagan Standard Time is a sorry excuse for being lazy. I guess that's uh, I guess that's kind of saying like res time or something. If the high priestess says the ritual starts at 10, then it starts at 10. Don't show up at 10:25 and expect a warm welcome. Organizing a ritual is like herding cats. You have to allow a little time for everyone to get themselves organized. Everyone knows 10 really means 10:30. We are creatures of spirit, and spirits don't always work on the same schedule. You have to allow time for the harmonies to synchronize. I work alone and do not care for pagan standard time. Dude, have you tried their mead? Um, this is. Oh, shit. I pressed the wrong one. No, no, no. Go back. I don't want that answer. Alright, this one is kind of like one of those iffy ones. You should, especially as a coven leader or who is acting as coven leader during any particular time, you should allow a little leeway for people to actually get there, considering travel and everything. But on the other hand, to the participants, if something's set, try to be on time as possible. If you know that it's a 20-minute drive from you to where you're supposed to be, allow yourself an extra 10 minutes just in case, traffic, lights, making the stoplights or whatever. So I want to go with organizing rituals like herding cat. Everyone really knows. No, no, not really. Uh, I really can't answer this one. But I work alone, so I don't care. Sorry, I just don't care. I work alone. And again, sorry this video is so long. It's just so many questions. If you weren't born female, you're not a woman and should not be allowed into a woman's mysteries. So saith the goddess. Spirit is not defined by gender. If I choose to identify as female, then I am female. Geez, woman. No, really. Tick the whole box. Um, I want to go like I said before. If you identify as female, then you're female. Plain and simple. So, spirit is not defined by gender. There, there are no such thing as black magic. There's no such thing as black magic. I personally believe this is true. Magic is a neutral force like electricity. It has no color. It's how we use it that matters. That's going to be my answer. But the other two questions is magic is shaped on intent. Once a harmful spell is cast, the magic will itself be harmful. Are you kidding me? I'm African American. All my magic is black magic. That's really fucking racist. Whoever made this, that's really racist. But it's kind of funny, but it's still racist. Well, my answer is going to be the first one. Magic is a neutral force. Uh, uh, you can't be a witch if you're gay. You shut your pie hole. No, really. Pie hole, shut it. So no matter what, this is basically, you know, this is going for pagans. So, yeah. No, really. Fucking shut the fuck up. Calculating. Finally. I'm so sorry this took so long. Solitary witch. Oh, hold on. I don't think you can see that. Let's angle it. I'm sorry. It says solitary witch. Okay, so the picture is a lone witch with a book. It says if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. That's in quotations. Confidence in finding out if you want a group of people to work magic or hold the Sabbath together. This is true. Sabbaths are kind of boring when you celebrate them by yourself. But more often than not, they're just a breeding ground for senseless drama and ego butthurt. As a solitary witch, you know that your altar and pentagram, your incense and athame, and your god and goddess are all you need to find your magical path. So, that's that. Um, I don't know about this senseless drama and ego butthurt thing. Comment on it. I don't really believe that. The only reason why I don't participate in group is because, one, around here there aren't many pagans. And the pagans that I have met are uh, more traditional, I guess you can say, and not eclectic. So if you live in my area, if you see me walking around, I live in a small area. I live in I do live in Ashland, Wisconsin. So I'm giving you guys a big, I'm trusting YouTube right now. I know I shouldn't be giving out my information like that, but it's not like I'm telling you that I live on Front Street or anything. But I do live in Ashland, Wisconsin. If you do live nearby me, and you want to get a hold of me, I do have a G Plus account. You can private message me there. I also do have a Facebook account, which I should be linking up to YouTube shortly. Um, my Facebook is strictly for uh, my YouTube and pagan related things. I do not use Facebook for social media just because of the drama. I don't like it. So if you're just going to go there and say, hey, let's be friends, you're going to get turned down. But if you're a pagan and you live in my area and you wish to get together or something, then by all means, follow me on Facebook. But don't expect much of a social interaction on Facebook. I prefer to do mine more face to face. Um, but yeah, that's why I don't participate in groups. So I really don't agree with that because the groups I have participated in, they weren't egomaniacs and there wasn't drama. I mean, there was arguments, yes, but that happens. You have arguments, you have debates, um, but the ego, the egotistical maniacs, I don't see, or I haven't personally seen. If you have had an experience like that, leave a comment below or make a video response. Um, if you like me doing this quiz, I'm sorry it took so long. I didn't know there were so many questions on that one. So, um, but if you like this, if you want me to do more, which I'm probably am going to, I'm probably going to do another one right after this one because I'm bored. It's 6. It's quarter after 6 in the morning. I don't know why I'm still up, but yeah. Like, subscribe, visit me on Google Plus or Facebook once I get it hooked up. And as always, blessed be.